looking at El Paso.
What will we say to the world? From the KELP studio in El Paso, this is 915 Talk.
And now your host.
Good afternoon, beautiful citizens of the borderland. This is 915 Talk, and I am your host, Andy Frecka. Today we are broadcasting from the heart of the world's largest borderplex. We're here at the KELP studio in El Paso, and we have Mac Daddy Del Norte on the board. Mac Daddy, how you doing this afternoon?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, Andy?
My vocabulary falls painfully short of adjectives to describe the wonder and joy of this educational journey that we have embarked upon each weekday afternoon as we learn to love our city, love our neighbors, and give God all the glory.
Nice.
And it's December 1st, year of our Lord.
Yes.
2025.
Yes.
And you know what else it is?
It is December, as in, like, I don't know.
I just said it's December 1st. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yes,
I'm surprised you didn't know that, Mac Daddy Del Norte.
That's what I was trying to
We
get
just
to.
had Thanksgiving. Our hearts are overwhelmed with gratitude.
Yes.
And now we're getting ready for Christmas.
Definitely.
We're going to be talking a little bit about getting ready for Christmas today, Mac Daddy Del Norte.
Okay.
But you know what else we're going to be talking about?
No.
We have a very special guest with us.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, do you know why she's special?
Oh, yes, definitely, because she is the expression of a...
What is happening?
Got breaking news, Andy.
Oh, breaking news? Again? Breaking news?
Yes, breaking news.
What is happening?
Breaking worldwide news. You can now feed your mind, feed your soul with great Christian teaching and talk on Alexa. That's right. All you have to say is, "Hey Alexa, play KELP radio," and boom! Instant Christian teaching, talk, and truth 24/7.
Oh, wow. That is worldwide breaking news.
Yeah.
Do you know why it's worldwide?
Yeah, because it actually is worldwide.
Oh.
It's available worldwide.
Oh, like if someone has an Alexa and they want to feed their mind and feed their soul,
Yes.
what would they need to do?
They just say, "Hey, Alexa, play the KELP radio."
Or as the AI voice just said, play KELP
P.
radio.
Yes.
And boom, great Christian teaching and talk.
And boom. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Because here's the deal, Mac Daddy Del
Uh-huh.
Norte. Why do you think we have the KELP radio on Alexa?
Well, so that people that don't have it like on their phones with our KELP app can also listen on the Alexa.
You can listen on the app.
That's right. At their home. Sometimes people have Alexa at home, so
right.
they're able to feed
Not
their
everyone
mind and
has
feed
a
their
radio in their house anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Not everyone.
That too.
I have one next to my bed, and if I turn it on, I hear static. Who gets a phone call?
Oh, me.
Yeah, you get a phone call.
Yeah.
So address your complaints to Mac Daddy Del Norte, not to me. But we do have a special guest today. We were just talking about that.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Oh, so I was remembering Mac Daddy Del Norte. When I was a kid.
Yeah.
I would go to church and we would sing this song. I may never, these are the words, I'm not going to sing it. I may never march in the infantry, ride in the cavalry, shoot the artillery. I may never zoom or the enemy, but I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir, I'm in the Lord's army. You ever think about how we're in the Lord's army?
Wow. No, I haven't thought about that before.
Well, it's great to be in the Lord's army. Often we talk about being in the family of God, but we're also in the army of God.
Yes.
And there's one organization that really takes this to the next level.
How so?
Well, they're the Salvation Army.
Oh, okay.
You ever heard of the Salvation Army?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Oh, yes. So we have a official representative here in the studio. She's so official that she grew up in the Salvation Army band.
Oh, for real?
Playing the cornet. And she said,
wow.
please don't bring that up on air.
That's the first thing you do.
So she's the daughter of Salvation Army officers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
She grew up moving from one Salvation Army. Is it a base? I'm just going to call it that. To another.
Let it slide.
She's the director of development for Salvation Army in El Paso.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And
sounds important.
Yeah, of course it's
Sounds.
important.
Okay. Looks like it is important.
And Mac Daddy Del Norte, you ever seen the red kettles?
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Is it the ones outside of like Walmart and all that?
Yeah. The red
definitely.
kettles.
Okay.
We'll talk a little bit about the red kettles. we might talk about the Salvation Army thrift store. I don't know.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about Christmas. We're going to be talking about everything they're doing.
Nice.
Because they've been in El Paso for a really long time. I don't want to bury the lead, but when I looked it up, I couldn't believe how long they've been in El Paso.
Okay.
And it is a crime that more people don't know what they're doing. Would you agree with that?
Yeah,
it's criminal. So we're looking to liquidate ignorance as we learn about the Salvation Army today.
Okay.
So without further ado, let's give a very warm Borderland welcome to the one, the only, Joanna Estrada. Joanna, welcome to 915 Talk.
Hey, Andy. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You said we're not going to talk about the Salvation Army band.
Yes.
So we won't. But you played the cornet, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did play it badly, and I didn't practice.
You didn't practice?
I was a poor example.
This is Confessions of a Salvation Army Kid. That's what we're doing right now. But Salvation Army band, that's like a whole part of American culture.
Yes. Not just at Christmas. It's kind of a year-round thing. And I do think music education is very important. So I think it's cool that the Salvation Army has this. It's kind of like a way to invest in the next generation and help to provide the tools that they need to succeed, give out-of-school structured educational time, socialization, time for development. So it's really good. It's very useful. I think that even though I didn't practice and I wasn't the best music student, that it did, it did a lot for me and it helped me. And it was really cool because this summer, sorry, I'm changing the subject now, but it's still music. This summer we had the Music and Arts Conservatory.
Okay.
Our theme was Make Waves, and we had over 30 students.
Okay.
So this was our 6th year of the program.
Okay.
So it's really nice to see that, music education, the Salvation Army is still going. And one of those kids just volunteered for your favorite program, the Salvation Army Red Kettle.
Yeah.
So he just volunteered, and this isn't something that's required. This is something that he wanted to do because he heard the announcement when we were calling for volunteers.
Okay.
So I think that's cool when you see that full circle there.
Red Kettle volunteers, that's like another part of American culture. Like you'll be watching a movie.
Home Alone.
Is that what it is? Is that what
it's
I'm thinking
Home Alone,
of?
Other movies too, but Home Alone is like the big one. It's
what
the
happened
Christmas
in Home Alone?
movie. You see a Santa with ringing the bell at the kettle. Yes.
Okay. Did he take money out of the kettle? That's probably not.
No,
okay.
no.
That didn't happen. It was just part of the.
He might not have been a perfect Santa, but he was ringing that bell.
Yeah. Well, I think any Santa who volunteers their time to ring a bell for Red Kettle for Salvation Army is pretty close to a perfect Santa.
That's true.
All right. So we're going to be talking about Christmas, Red Kettle, bands, all this stuff. But let's talk about just Salvation Army in general. I think a lot of people actually don't know the history. They don't know what's behind all of this, and it really, in my mind, came out of a religious cultural shift in Europe in the 1800s. Is that right?
Yes. So in 1865, William Booth, that is the founder of the Salvation Army, he was a Methodist minister, and he really wanted to do more boots to the ground type of work. He wanted to go to areas of London, East End at the time, that were not really where people wanted to go and to do ministry work. So that was what he was the most interested in doing, and he created the Salvation Army. And it was him, his wife Catherine Booth. So it was like the whole Booth family was involved with this. And I think it's really cool when you think the Salvation Army started in 1865. And in El Paso, the Salvation Army was established in 1898. I know
that. So that's why I said in the intro, I couldn't believe it. I mean, so I didn't know actually when the Salvation Army started. I knew it was mid-1800s. But really what we're talking about is 33 years later, it had made its way from London to El Paso, which is...
tremendous growth. Yes. So that's pretty crazy when you think about how quickly that went, and the limitations of the time too for communications that they had. So it was really this whole movement. And they call it the volunteer army because really everybody that was involved was volunteers.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is this guy, William Booth, started the Salvation Army because he wanted to start ministry in a difficult area of London,
Yes.
a place, and if I'm reading kind of between the lines of what you're saying, it was a place where the established church really didn't want to go.
Right. That's correct.
Okay, and so is that still what the Salvation Army is doing today?
Yes. So it's changed, but it's changed in a way where the Salvation Army is still the same. So what William Booth was wanting to do was to go to people who, some of them had really strong addictions, alcohol, drugs. There were prostitutes. There were all of these people that had major struggles and challenges that they were facing, and those were the ones he wanted to help. And today the Salvation Army is still, housing the homeless. So we have a shelter here in El Paso, and we're still feeding the hungry. And that was something he would say is you can't feed the soul on an empty stomach.
You can't feed the soul on an empty stomach.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard it said in ministry, like, I really want to hear what you're saying, but my stomach is grumbling too loud and things
Yes,
like that.
that's exact. Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. And then, so 1898 in El Paso, that is so crazy to me.
And that's over 125 years over.
Yes, that's right. 120. Yeah, it is over 125 years. And today, what part of El Paso are you in?
Oh, the Salvation Army is located, the main office building is located across from the Coliseum. So I guess that's sort of central.
Yeah.
And we also have the Salvation Army Core Community Center. That's the church. It's community center programs during the week. That is located in the northeast of El Paso. And then the thrift store is on Moorhead. Right off Dyer.
All right. So slow down, Joanna Estrada of Salvation Army.
I am the official Salvation Army representative.
Yes. Yes. So across from the Coliseum, is that where the housing takes place?
Yes. So that is the shelter. We have a capacity of about 118.
Okay.
And this is a family shelter. Actually, in El Paso, there are not a lot of family shelters. So it's very important for this operation to be able to continue, for us, to not need to close it down for any reason because it's a family shelter. This is where parents can stay together with their kids, and there can be in a family dorm. So we have family dorm styles, which is like 4 to 5 beds in a dorm. And then we have one single men's dorm.
Okay.
And that's it. And the rest are family style.
All right. So I'm looking up on the internet right now, and I found it. So I see the El Paso County Coliseum. I see the Rhinos Hockey Arena.
Yes.
And you're right there. You're even on the same side of East Paisano.
Yes, that's correct.
Same side of the street as the Coliseum, just a little bit farther down. So that's pretty cool. So what you're saying is, what I'm hearing you say is that you have a special focus on housing families.
Yes, we do. And also when funding is available, through different grants or programs that we have, we do a big focus also on getting families from homelessness into permanent housing. So that's rapid rehousing, getting them back into permanent housing. And also homelessness prevention, which is helping with rent and utility to prevent a family from being evicted.
Okay.
So, and that's even a more efficient way of being able to, fight against homelessness. So it's always better to prevent if you are able to. So we also do rent and utility assistance.
Yeah, okay. So I definitely want to talk about that. What is can you paint a picture for us? What does it look like for a family? Like, what is their situation that they end up on the street as a family? Because I think a lot of times what you're thinking of is what I think of when I think of homeless is dad got into addiction and ended up on the street, and the family still has a place to stay, or there's some kind of breakup there, but a family altogether ending up on the street, is that not keeping up with rent, or is there something else there?
So there can be a variety of factors for something like that. Definitely what you described does happen, but we're here in El Paso, we're not specifically addiction recovery facility. It's not a adult rehabilitation, although those exist, and Salvation Army has those. But so some of the cases that we see that are more common is a loss of job. So job loss, especially if it is a single income household, then that by itself, most of people who become homeless, especially for the first time, this can be something as simple as there were previous financial constraints, living check to check. So any interruption, decrease in hours at work, that can really cut your salary and what you're depending on.
Okay, so again, what I'm hearing you say is this isn't a family that's fallen into addiction. They're just not making it financially. Okay. All right. So that's super interesting. I do want to dive into deeper into what you were saying about preventing homelessness for those folks who are facing eviction. But first, we do need to take a break. If you're just joining us, we're with Joanna Estrada. She's a proud cornet player in the Salvation Army band. Just kidding. She grew up in the Salvation Army.
Not proud.
Yeah. Her parents are officers. She's now the director of development of Salvation Army here in El Paso. We're talking all things Salvation Army. We do need to take this break. Before we go into the break, this is your daily reminder that 915 Talk is a production of Desert Voice Media. The website is desertvoice.media. That is the website, desertvoice.media. And you can listen to this or any previous 915 Talk conversation there. You can also join in the prayers of the church around El Paso, 915 Pray, our daily prayer program that is featured on the station at 9:15 a.m., 9:15 p.m. We also have the recordings there. I also do want to remind you that you can subscribe to 915 Talk and now 915 Pray on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever the case may be. We truly enjoy this radio ministry. We enjoy learning to love our city more, learning to love our neighbors more, giving God all the glory. And however you join with us, whether it be online through YouTube, through the podcast, and of course through this radio station. Again, the website is desertvoice.media. We're going to go into a break. Do not touch that dial.
We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
915 Talk is listener-supported and is a production of Desert Voice Media. That's right. It's people just like you who make this program possible. Together with Desert Voice, you can learn how to better serve our neighbors and pray for our community. To become a Desert Voice Media partner, you can visit desertvoice.media. That's right. That's the website, desertvoice.media. Take a look and join us today in reaching our borderland for Christ.
What an incredible year. We're looking back on 2025 with a grateful heart and an eye for a wonderful 2026. Together, we've seen Cornerstone Broadcasting expand into more of the borderland with new local programming, a more broad listener base, and new technology to serve you even better. How? Well, it's your generous giving that's been the key. Your love for this ministry and our neighbors keeps God's message alive and vibrant. We're winding down 2025, and as we do, would you remember us in your end-of-year giving plans? It'll make a big difference in keeping local Christian programming on the air, and we're continually updating behind the scenes to bring you the best-sounding station we can. Give now through December 31st, and we'll count you in. You can just look for the Cornerstone Broadcasting link at kelpradio.com or call 915-779-0016. And thank you from all of us at El Paso's Christian Station, KELP.
915.
Testify.
I was going down a really wrong path. I was in a path that I should never have been a part of, but I was. God sent me to a private Christian school where I pushed against it, and I didn't want anything to do with it because religion to me was just something you did because you had to do it, not because you chose to do it. And I had never understood it before. But once I started attending church, the pastors told me that there was a God who wanted me. He sent his son to die for me. No one had ever put their life on the line to save me. And I found out that there was a Jesus out there who was willing to do that for me even before I was ever thought of. I grew up without a father, with a mother who worked all the time. I was raised by my grandparents. I was called the redheaded stepchild. It was very difficult for me to feel like I belonged anywhere. And the only time I ever felt worth anything was when Jesus came into my life. My name's Stephanie Gastrita. I was born and raised in El Paso, Texas. If he can do it for me, he can do it for you.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
And by the word of their testimony.
desertvoice.media.
We're back. You're listening to 915 Talk.
We are back, and you are listening to 915 Talk. I'm your host, Andy Frecka. Today we're with Joanna Estrada of the Salvation Army. I said during the break, I'm not going to bring up the cornet anymore, so I won't. But the Salvation Army Band. I was just remembering a famous Christian song from the 90s, and it has a line, and the Salvation Army Band is playing its song. It's like such a part of our culture. It's great. Salvation
What song
Army.
is that?
It's Rick, and his last name. It's the guy who did Awesome God. I'm totally forgetting. I'm blanking out his name.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now I'm
but
stuck too, but I know
but he
what
has
you're
another
talking
song, and he's talking about the Salvation Army Band playing its song. It was a song about you playing the cornet.
Of course.
But we were talking about homelessness. I do find this interesting, and I love learning about what you're doing at Salvation Army because there is some specificity to it, which is great. It's not just anything. You're not really focused on those who are in addiction situations, those who are just, it sounds like, falling on hard times. You're sheltering particularly families. You also do have a men's section of your shelter. But you were talking about preventing homelessness for those people who are facing eviction. Well, walk us through a little bit more of what that looks like.
So someone who is seeking rent or utility assistance, they might be referred to the Salvation Army by 201 by another agency. They might have just heard about it, or maybe they received assistance in the past through something else, and that was how they came to know about the Salvation Army. So they will come and meet with a caseworker, and the caseworkers can meet with people, from with clients from outside that may be seeking rent and utility assistance to avert eviction. And then there's also the clients who are in the shelter, and they also meet with the caseworker. So the caseworker, her job is to identify, or his, is to identify, what is the cause of homelessness or the current financial difficulty? How can we identify that? How can we, make steps to find a solution, And that's a process. That's not really a one-step thing. And I think that is where, the challenge in combating homelessness can really be, it is a long process. It isn't a quick solution. It takes time, but there are resources. And we also serve veterans as well. And so with veterans specifically, sometimes it will be with partner agencies. They might be referred by Endeavors or something. And that is one of the ways where there was this veteran, actually. He was living in Mexico because he'd married. He had these newborn. They were twins. His name was Victor. And when the babies were born, they were immediately in the NICU, and there was a potential for the kids not to make it. So he applied for and qualified for humanitarian visa, and he came to the U.S. But he'd had enormous, overwhelming hospital bills, all of these medical bills. And when they came over, they didn't have a place to stay. So his wife and the twins were immediately hospitalized, of course, but he was staying at the Salvation Army shelter. And he met with the caseworker that specializes in work with veterans, and he was able to secure an apartment. And it was really nice, when you hear back and the babies are doing okay. They were released from the hospital and they had a place to go to. So I'm sure that there are still challenges ahead for the family, but having a place to stay, they didn't have to go to a shelter. They didn't have to, figure out how do you handle this kind of problem that can really happen overnight. And it can happen to anybody. I think also that's one of the things that it can be really easy to assume that happens to a certain kind of person, to somebody else. But, everything was fine for him and his family until the hospital.
Yeah, I'm remembering a conversation we had maybe a month and a half ago. We were talking about mental health, and the guest was reminding me that a mental health crisis, we always think that happens to someone else. And I think that it's similar when we talk about homelessness. For a lot of us, we can assume, well, that's something that would never happen to me. It happens to other people. And just that reminder that we're all just a step or two away from, really maybe falling on difficult times. So I find this to be super interesting. You have someone come in, they need, I'm looking at your website, the Salvation Army of El Paso offers financial assistance in the forms of rental, mortgage, utility assistance, dependent on household need, qualification, and grant availability. And so you have a caseworker who's really digging into the situation and not just what the need is, but why did this happen and how this can be prevented in the future. Right.
And also, some of the homeless clients may have been chronically homeless. And that is also a significant portion of the homeless population as well. And what happens with that is you really have to look at it from a lens of, this is generational poverty. Getting out of that situation is a lot harder than it may seem. If someone has been part of the transient population, maybe they've lost some of their documents, they don't know how to request a new birth certificate.
Sure.
And the caseworker, she can be really helpful with that. She can help guide them through, can help guide them through that process.
Sure.
And it's something that you can hit a roadblock, but if you don't have someone helping you through it, that roadblock might just be, instead of a challenge to overcome, it might just be an obstacle that stops you from, getting to your destination.
Right.
Because it can feel like a very hopeless situation. But when you have someone who, is an expert in these matters and has done this kind of work before, she can help point in the right direction, and they can realize, oh, well, now that you have this birth certificate, and sometimes you have to recover it because, there can be all kinds of complicated reasons. But now that you have it, now you're eligible for, employment or for something else, maybe some kind of assistance that can help you. If somebody who was the single income provider of the household passed away, but now you qualify for food stamps. I mean, that is something that can really help sustain the household and make a big difference. And we know what a big difference, SNAP can make. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love this idea of not just a handout, but some guidance, some education. If you're just joining us,
referrals,
yeah, absolutely. Employment referrals is probably that's
or employment agency referrals.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, if you're just joining us with Joanna Estrada, she's with the Salvation Army here in El Paso. We're learning about the Salvation Army, what they provide. We're going to be talking in a little bit about those red kettles.
Kettles. I love it.
We've figured out how to defeat homelessness. Now, what are we going to do? We need some money for the homeless.
Absolutely.
To fight the homelessness.
Yeah. Well, even just to pay for the electricity is very important because
the utilities,
shelter.
That's right.
The shelter needs to be warm. So
that's right. Amen.
Crucial expenses.
Yes. All right. So walk us through the red kettles. What do we need to know?
The first thing I think that you and everybody listening needs to know is that all of the money raised in the Red Kettle stays here in El Paso. It stays locally. I get this question every year. So I always want to make it clear this is not, money that's being raised for Florida. This is money
Right.
for El Paso.
And it doesn't go to like the Vatican of the Salvation Army.
That is correct.
Yeah, it stays here in El Paso.
It stays here in El Paso to serve El Paso and to help our neighbors in need here. So primarily, Red Kettle campaign is for food and shelter.
Okay.
It's for shelter. And food prices have been going up. Everything post-pandemic.
I noticed that.
The economy post-pandemic is just very different from what it was before. And when you work at a nonprofit and you have things that are, to scale, like buying a whole lot of meals, and this is where we really see it happening. There are changes with the food bank and how nonprofits work together and collaborate. So it's more important than ever that we're able to raise the funds. And anyone who can volunteer to ring the bell would be a big help.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Yes.
What do we need to do to volunteer to ring the bell? How many hours do we have to commit to? Any special Salvation Army perks if I become a volunteer Red Kettle bell ringer? Do I get to keep the bell after? I don't know.
You can have the bell and you can even have the apron. I know that's your
Are you serious
favorite.
right now?
Yes. You can have the red apron with the Salvation Army logo on it.
So you can't keep the apron. That's so great. I was just joking, but we can keep the apron.
Yes. And then when you're cooking at home, you can think about the Salvation Army and, how when you were volunteering, you were helping to provide meals because that's what you're doing.
Okay.
It feels like you're just ringing a bell, but it's like making a financial donation. You're making a financial impact to help our neighbors.
Love it. Okay, so what are the qualifications required to become a bell ringer?
So the qualifications is to be 18 or older.
Okay.
Or have an adult with you. So minors can volunteer with their parent or guardian.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And the commitment depends on your group. So if you are volunteering as an individual, we do ask for a 4-hour commitment.
Mm-hmm.
If you're volunteering like with some friends, then most people will usually volunteer about an hour because they're doing it in shifts.
Oh, you're like, we have 4 of us. We're going to rotate through those 4 hours, but we're taking the 4-hour block.
Yes. And sometimes groups can also do a full day. We love it when volunteers do a full day. That's amazing. But no pressure. So the full day is
no pressure,
8 hours.
but let's keep Joanna Estrada happy.
Please. I will say this. We have over 1,000 volunteer slots this season.
Wow.
And frankly, we will not be able to have volunteers complete even 20% of them. So we hire bell ringers.
Okay.
So if you are looking for some extra funds for Christmas, we are hiring bell ringers. But when people work for the Red Kettle, it's really about, usually there's a fixed income and they're trying to raise a little bit more spending money for the holidays.
Right.
And then, next week we're short a bell ringer.
Yeah.
So it's very important to be able to have volunteers. Volunteers also perform amazingly. I can tell you, apples to apples, volunteers raise more money for the same period of time as a paid bell ringer.
Why do you think that is? Let's talk about that.
I think that when you are choosing to be there, just because you want to give back, it just shows, and other people can see it, and they can see that you're happy to do it. And I don't know, there is just something immeasurable about it. Except the impact is measured because, like 100% of the time,
Christmas
you're
joy
doing
is
higher.
emanating.
There you go, it's emanating.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Love it.
emanating and embarking. You have interesting vocabulary.
Yeah. So, one thing that's great about El Paso is it's not as cool to be a bell ringer, a kettle bell ringer, as it is in other parts of the nation. We have the climate for it, I think.
That's true. We have way better temperature here. Our climate is just very friendly, and I think the community here just really responds very well to it. I did have on Tuesday of last week, a friend of mine volunteered, and she volunteered with her children, and her mom came to volunteer too. And so that's just a very different experience than when you have someone there that's on their own, and maybe they've already done it multiple times because they're an employee. And Tuesday feels like another Tuesday.
Sure.
And instead of feeling like a special occasion. So I think that also takes, that's also part of it. But we have some volunteers who they bring their kids with their cornets and they play their instruments. And this really happens. It's not a joke. They do it and they do really well. So I think
like you can bring your musical instrument and play like next to the
yes,
kid.
of course. I encourage it. What instrument do you play?
So I was just asking generally.
I'm asking too.
Well, I did grow up playing the trumpet, but I don't play the trumpet anymore.
Oh, you haven't been practicing?
No, I haven't been practicing. Not for 30 years. My kids are pretty musical. So
Great.
Yeah, I could have like my one son rap and my other kids play the violin.
Absolutely. Before I leave today, we'll sign you up to volunteer, and you can be the example. I love it.
Okay,
I'll be volunteering too.
What I heard you say is like a church could pick a day and just fill all the slots throughout the day.
Yes.
Okay.
And if it's the church and the group is big, they may not want to do it on shifts on their own. They may want to do it, in pairs or, in groups because that makes it pretty fun too.
Okay.
And I know grandmothers volunteering with their grandchildren and making it kind of a family experience. And, tradition has to start somewhere.
Tradition has to start somewhere. Joanna Estrada of Salvation Army El Paso.
Yes, that was my wife's proverb.
Yeah, tradition has to start somewhere. No, I mean, it is cool. I mean, you think about a lot of folks want to do something special for Christmas, and this is something where it's really set up for you. You just need to show up and put in the time. What a great tradition. If someone does want to ring the bell for the kettle, where do I need to start?
So you can go to our website, salvationarmyelpaso.org.
salvationarmyelpaso.org.
Yes, that's correct.
This is radio. We need to slow down. People are listening. salvationarmyelpaso.org. Okay?
100%. And on the landing page, there will be a link that says register to ring.
Register to ring.
Yes, and that is where you can volunteer. You can also call us at the office. That is 915-544-9811. And you can say that you are interested in volunteering.
All right, 915-544-9811. 915-544-9811. Love this idea of everyone knows the Red Kettles. The money stays in El Paso. We're fighting homelessness, also preventing homelessness.
Providing over 24,000 nights of shelter a year.
Yeah, wow. Okay, 24,000. That's amazing. Also, I saw how many meals a year? That's 136,000 meals a year.
Yes.
Wow. Emergency financial assistance of $479,000. Volunteer hours of 6,000 hours.
I'm hoping to see that one go up.
Yeah, let's increase that. That's super fun. I love all of this. Where does the thrift store come into all this?
So the thrift store is a very crucial part of the operation here in El Paso. So not every Salvation Army has a thrift store to help bring in funds. So the thrift store is, you're selling secondhand goods, quality goods at bargain prices.
Yes.
So that's already something that's helpful, especially here in El Paso. And what I always like to explain is that every year you have over hundreds of thousands of pounds of waste that are diverted from landfills.
Sure.
So the thrift store is environment friendly, and we're also able to have all of those proceeds be reinvested back into food and shelter. So those proceeds stay here in El Paso. It doesn't go to...
So the thrift store, the money stays here too?
The thrift store money stays here too, but by itself, it isn't enough.
Okay.
So even though the purpose of the thrift store, I suppose you could say that's one part that is intended to turn a profit, but by itself, it cannot support food and shelter. It can help.
Right.
But we really count on people who donate, who volunteer. It's a nonprofit, and it's It's how the Salvation Army operates. So food, shelter, rental, utility assistance, these are very expensive. So I think us having the thrift store here is a really big help.
Yeah, that's super fun, super great, and I is part of the whole thing also providing jobs?
The thrift store?
Yes.
I would say a little bit more the Christmas campaign versus a thrift store. I mean, it does provide jobs. It's just not so many as we would see during our Christmas Red Kettle campaign.
Okay.
But the thrift store is very helpful for the shelter as well because, for example, we were speaking earlier about rapid rehousing, getting a family from the shelter into permanent housing, right? And maybe they are approved according to, the funding contract that says that and that they qualify for rental utility assistance. But what about furniture? So when you're moving into an apartment, that seems like a normal expense, but it's a big expense.
Yeah, it's
and
crazy the cost of furniture anymore.
Yes, and if your previous situation was you were being homeless, it can be a pretty big financial burden to go all at once. So the Salvation Army thrift store sometimes will get furniture donations. And we can write a voucher for our client who has approved housing to help them with furniture. So they can go to the store, submit the furniture voucher, and pick out, a bed for the kids' rooms. And that can be a really big help too. So the thrift store is very helpful all around.
Okay. Love it. If you're just joining us, we're with Joanna Estrada of Salvation Army El Paso. And let's find some Red Kettle bell ringers. If you're interested in ringing a bell for Red Kettle, go to salvationarmelpaso.org, or what's the phone number?
915-544-9811.
And it's pretty cool what you were saying, how a church, a home group, whatever the case would be, you could sign up for a full day and you can ring the bell in pairs with your best friend. Just spread a little Christmas cheer because it's more blessed to give than to receive.
Amen.
Yeah. It's so much fun. We do need to take a break. Before we go into the break, KELP Radio would like to thank all of its impact partners. The impact partners are local nonprofits, churches, educational institutions, businesses that have joined us in our journey to serve the community through radio ministry. The impact partner I'd like to point out today is, I'm going to tell you a secret. It's the first place we go to buy Christmas presents as a family. RioGrandeAuctions.com. It's El Paso's only online auction, and they have some amazing deals. I opened up the website right now. They have a espresso machine. They have a lot of furniture. We were just talking about the cost of furniture. All kinds of great tools, some bicycles, all kinds of things. RioGrandeAuctions.com. Appreciate them being a part of our journey here at KELP Radio. We're going to go into a break. We'll be back with Joanna Estrada of the Salvation Army here in El Paso. Do not touch that dial.
We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
Greetings, KELP listeners. This is Terry Gray, pastor of Calvary Chapel, Sun City, and speaker on the Summons broadcast heard each weekday at 5 p.m. right here on this station. Calvary Chapel, Sun City is located at 960 West Borderland Road on the west side of El Paso. We hold services on Wednesday evenings at 7 and on Sunday mornings at 9 and 11. If you are without a church home, we would love to have you join us for worship and Bible study. You can find out more information about us on the web at www.ccsuncity.org. Greetings, KELP listeners. This is Terry Gray, pastor of Calvary Chapel, Sun City, and speaker on the Summons broadcast heard each weekday at 5 p.m. right here on this station. Calvary Chapel, Sun City is located at 960 West Borderland Road on the west side of El Paso. We hold services on Wednesday evenings at 7 and on Sunday mornings at 9 and 11. If you are without a church home, we would love to have you join us for worship and Bible study. You can find out more information about us on the web at www.ccsuncity.org.
We're back. You're listening to 915 Talk.
We are back, and you're listening to 915 Talk. I'm your host, Andy Frecka. Today we're with Joanna Estrada of the Salvation
Army
here in El Paso. That's right. That's right. So when you came in today, you were talking about how much you love El Paso.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
it's true.
Yeah. So I think that's great because the kind of tagline for this program is let's learn to love our city, love our neighbors, and give God all the glory.
Yes. And I think it's kind of sad that you can sometimes tell who is a native and who is not. Because the ones who aren't natives to El Paso seem to love it more sometimes. So, yeah, we need to increase El Paso love. Yes.
That's hilarious. All right. So, Joanna, we have a little tradition for first-time guests, particularly.
Okay. I'm scared.
Yeah, you should be. It's rapid-fire questions.
Oh, boy.
We're going to find out how much you love El Paso.
All right. Oh, man.
yeah.
I'm not good with trivia.
Yeah, so we're Christian radio, so we do believe in right and wrong answers.
Oh, man.
However, because we are Christian radio, if you give a wrong answer, we'll try not to judge.
Okay. You will forgive me.
Yes, we will do our best. We're not always successful in that, but it's a journey. So without further ado, Mac Daddy Del Norte, cue up the lightning round. Okay, Joanna Estrada of the Salvation Army here in El Paso. First question. It's a culinary question. It's a question you're asked here in the borderland, particularly when you go out to eat. And the question is, red or green?
Green.
That is correct.
Okay, that was great.
All right. And where's your favorite place to answer that question?
Ooh. This is El Paso. There are so many choices.
Yeah.
Okay. How many can I pick?
Just one.
Just one?
Just one. Yes, just one.
Okay. Carlos and Mickey's.
That's a good one. We don't get that one very often. Very good. All right. Next question. You have someone come to visit you here in El Paso, a friend. A relative, someone who's never been here to El Paso before, and you really want to impress them with El Paso. Where's a place that you will take them to impress them with El Paso that's not a restaurant?
Waco Tanks.
Waco Tanks.
Yes.
I like that one. That is correct.
It has to be correct.
Tell me about Waco Tanks.
Waco Tanks is very cool. First off, they really do an amazing job preserving all of the natural beauty there and sharing the history and sharing the rules when you go to visit to make sure that nobody is going to, damage the nature there.
Yeah, no, I Waco Tanks is actually on my short list of places to take people when they come to visit for like more than a day. We definitely go to Waco Tanks. It truly is great. I've been surprised to find out how many people have lived here their whole lives, and either they've never been there or it's been some decades. It's definitely worth going there. And you bring up the what do you call it? When you show up and they give you the instructional video.
Yeah. It's like a little orientation.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like a nice way to share how important it is to preserve the site and to take care of it and maintain it and respect it and the history.
Right. Okay. Now, for our next question, we're going to go downtown.
Downtown. Oh.
Yeah. Do you spend much time downtown El Paso?
Well, I can't parallel park, so.
That's funny. So you could park across the street from the El Paso County Coliseum and walk, but that's a long walk. So the Central Plaza, the Central Square, have you been there?
Yes, I pay for parking there.
Okay, you pay for parking there. So
Yes.
We're good on the parking.
Yes.
We've gone through that. What is the, so you're not a native of El Paso?
No, I moved here in 21.
Okay, in 2021. And what is the theme of the San Jacinto Plaza?
The theme?
Yeah, the theme.
I'm not sure. I mostly go there during Winterfest, which is really cool, by the way.
Yeah, Winterfest is amazing. There's a sculpture in the middle.
There's those crocodiles.
The alligators. That is
The
correct.
alligators. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so you're new to El Paso, relatively.
Relatively,
Yeah.
yes.
Do you know why the theme is alligators?
Okay, so I don't know if this is true, but somebody told me that there used to be real alligators.
Someone told you that?
Was she lying?
No, she was telling you the truth. That's absolutely true. There used to be live alligators there, and they were replaced by the sculpture, which you've noticed. How many alligators are in that sculpture?
2? Oh.
You were doing so good, Joanna Estrada of Salvation Army El Paso. There are 4. You were close.
We need an extra credit question at the end.
Yeah. So you really did come into the studio and you were saying how much you love El Paso. At the beginning of this program, in the intro, we say the world is looking at El Paso. What will we say to the world? Because when I moved to El Paso, I noticed that the world is looking at El Paso mainly for border issues, things like that. But what will happen is a correspondent will come, a journalist will come from a major city, New York or LA or whatever the case may be,
That's right.
and tell our story. And we need to tell the story for ourselves, for those of us who live here. What would you want the world to know about El Paso?
El Paso is a place of families and neighbors who love each other and look out for each other.
Okay. Love it. All right. And if you could snap your fingers and change one thing about El Paso, what would that thing be?
Well, I'm not sure. That's a tough one.
You seem like a positive person. You can't come up with anything that you want changed.
I can't. I love El Paso. I moved here and I'm in my element. I'm not going back.
Well, you were talking about how you moved here from Houston and you love El Paso. You love the lifestyle here.
Yes. Here I can go to Walgreens and at the register, somehow I find myself in conversation with this perfect stranger. And, we're kind of holding up the line, but no one even complains or gets angry because El Paso people are just nicer.
El Paso people are just nicer.
It's
That
true.
is a quote from Joanna Estrada of Salvation Army El Paso.
It's an objective fact, yes.
Love it. And so we talked about the Red Kettles today.
Yes.
We talked about fighting homelessness, preventing homelessness. We talked about Salvation Army. We only have a couple minutes left.
Okay.
Tell me about the Angel Tree.
Oh, yes. Angel Tree is the Salvation Army's Christmas Assistance Program for children ages 0 to 10. This is a need-based program. So they all qualify, and what we do is we help to provide new gifts like toys and clothes for Christmas. And we're also making an effort, and that we succeeded every year so far, to provide every family in the program with a turkey so they can have the full Christmas experience, which is very important. Christmas is the best holiday. So everyone needs to have joy on Christmas.
Everyone needs to have joy at Christmas. That is correct. That is correct, Baghdadi. There we go. All right, so it's Salvation Army El Paso.org. You can see there, donate to the virtual Red Kettle. You can volunteer to ring the bell, purchase gifts for an angel. You can learn about all the 25,000 nights of lodging, 136,000 meals served in a year, all the emergency financial assistance, all the love learning about all these things, Joanna. Thank you so much for coming in today. And last question, you have 1 minute. If you could pray one prayer for El Paso, what would that prayer be?
Just for understanding. I think, we do get really busy. And so for people to be able to have just a little bit of understanding for the kind of problems that other people can be going through.
Yeah, I love that. Let's learn to listen to each other. Let's learn to learn what's going on in other people's lives. Have that outward focus. Love it. Again, we've been today with Joanna Estrada of the Salvation Army of El Paso. What a fun but important conversation. And as we always say, let's learn to love our city, love our neighbors, and give God all the glory. This has been 915 Talk. You have been listening to 915 Talk, a production of Desert Voice Media. In order to listen to previous editions of 915 Talk, just visit desertvoice.media. Let's learn together to love our city, love our neighbors, and give God all the glory.